Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel Fintu and you're watching Friday First Cut series. I am Nidhi Manchanda, Certified Financial Planner and Head of Training, Research and Development at Fintu. Ideally, the best time to do your tax planning is at the start of the financial year itself, so that throughout the year you can plan out your investments, expenses which can help you save your taxes. But if you have not done this activity at the start of the year, now is the time that you might be struggling a little bit, and that is why we are creating this video so that it can help you to know how you can plan your taxes and save taxes in these last 3 months, that is Jan, Feb and March of the year 2023. I am sure everyone would want to know how to reduce their tax burden. And in fact, you would also like to know if there is any case where your tax outgo actually becomes zero. And that is what we'll be discussing in today's video, that what are the tax saving options that we have which we can utilize and try to make the tax outgo as minimum as possible, or best to make it zero in certain cases. For all the salaried individuals, now is the time where your employer asks you for your declaration investment proofs, and that is why if you have not done any of the tax saving, then this is the time where you should be doing it. Although it is last moment, but do it and accordingly submit those proofs to save your taxes. But here when we discuss about how you can save your taxes, there are a couple of options that you can keep in mind. And when I say that there is a way where you can actually make your tax outgo zero, the very important thing that comes here is the rebate under section 87A. Now as per this rebate, if anyone's income is taxable income post all the deductions comes to around 5 lakh rupees or less, then they get a rebate of 12,500, which means that in the net effect you will not have to pay any tax. Now when I say net taxable income of 5 lakhs, this is post your deductions. So whatever level of in-hand salary you are drawing in the entire year, if after claiming all the deductions you can get it reduced to 5 lakhs, you will not have to pay any tax. So for people who are earning an income of 6 lakhs, 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs, it will be much easier, because then you just have to claim a deduction of 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakhs. After doing this, your taxable income reduces to 5 lakhs, and after applying the rebate, your tax outgo will be zero. Now let us see what are these deductions that you can claim so that you are able to reduce your taxable income. So the first deduction is 50,000 standard deduction. Now this is a standard deduction that all the salaried individuals will get. You need not invest any money somewhere, or you need not spend your money somewhere. You do not need any proof. This is a standard deduction that all the salaried individuals will get. So whatever is your CTC, you can directly deduct 50,000 from that, and you are supposed to pay tax only on the remaining part of it. So this is the first deduction. Second, let's come to ATC deduction. Now this is one of the most popular section, wherein you get a deduction of up to 1,50,000, and there are ample of options which are available to claim this 1,50,000. And not just investments, there are a couple of expenses also. If you are doing those expenses, you can still claim deduction under ATC. So when it comes to expenses, let's say if you have a home loan and you are paying the EMIs, then the principal part that you have paid throughout the year can be claimed under ATC. Next, in case you have purchased any property, you must have paid stamp duty and registration. That also constitutes under ATC only. Apart from this, life insurance is something which is really important, and every earning member should have a life insurance. So any premium that you are paying towards your life insurance is also considered under ATC. So there are certain expenses including children's tuition fee as well. So, but in case you are not doing any of these expenses, there are a couple of investment options also available to you to claim this ATC deduction, which includes your ELSS, which is Equity Linked Savings Scheme. It's a type of a equity mutual fund having a lock-in period of 3 years. Apart from this, there are ULIPs with having a lock-in period of 5 years. Apart from market-linked investments, you can also invest your money into a public provident fund, PPF. Or you can invest into Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana or a bank fixed deposit of 5 years. So there are a couple of options where you can actually invest your money and claim the ATC deduction. So by considering 50,000 standard deduction and 1,50,000 ATC deduction, 2 lakhs is what you can already claim. The third thing that you can claim is health insurance premium. This comes under section 80D, and you can claim up to 75,000 under this section itself. So 25,000 you can claim for yourself, your spouse and your children. So for the entire family you can claim up to 25,000, and for your parents also you can claim additional 25,000. But in case your parents are senior citizen, you can claim up to 50,000 for them as well. In case you yourself is a senior citizen, there also you can claim 50,000 for you and your spouse. So a total of approximately 75,000, depending upon situation to situation, you can claim that much under this section. Now next is interest on home loan. Now this comes under section 24, and you can claim up to 2 lakh rupees under this section. This is the deduction that you can claim for whatever interest that you are paying towards your home loan. So the EMI that you are paying has two components. One is principal, one is interest. Principal is already part of 80C that we discussed, and the interest part that you are paying is part of section 24. So 2 lakhs, up to 2 lakhs you can claim for interest on home loan, be it 1 home loan, 2 home loan, 3 home loan, but together in one financial year you can claim up to 2 lakhs only. But in case you are staying in a rented apartment, in a rented house, and you are paying rent, then you can also claim HRA. Now again, HRA calculation is a little different. It's not exactly what the rent amount that you're paying to your landlord cannot be claimed directly for HRA, but there is a small calculation. We have already made a detailed video on the HRA part as well. So I would suggest you can watch that video to understand the calculation of HRA. But whether you're staying on rent or you have your own house, it's on loan, you're paying interest on your home loan, you can claim up to 2 lakh rupees here as well. In case you have taken any education loan, the interest that you pay on an education loan can also be claimed to save your taxes. That is a deduction which comes under section 80E. So that's for education loan. Again, the beauty of this particular section is that there is no upper limit on how much you can claim. Whatever amount of interest that you are paying in your education loan, the entire interest you can claim under this section. There is no upper limit as such. So that much amount you can claim it here to reduce your tax outgo. Now related to medical expenses, there are 2 more sections. One is 80DDB. Now this is for any medical treatment expenses that you are doing for any of your dependent family member. Then you can claim that under this section. The amount will be 40,000 or 1 lakh depending upon the age of the patient. Another section which we have is 80DD. Now here, if any family member is having some medical disability, then you can utilize the expenses here in this particular section. You do not have to show any proof of your expenses, only the proof of the disability of that particular family member. So that certificate is required. Here the amount that you can claim could be 75,000 or 1,25,000 depending upon how severe the disability is. Another thing is related to NPS. So if you are someone who would want to invest money for your retirement, NPS would be a recommended investment option. It is a market linked investment. You can open a tier 1 account and start investing your money into an NPS account. You will also get an additional 50,000 reduction if you are investing into an NPS account. Here I would suggest that you go for tier 1 only, because the tax benefits that we are discussing right now is available in tier 1 account itself. So 50,000 additional deduction you can get by investing into NPS. So these are the majority of the tax saving options that you have. Now coming back to our main question, how to make your tax liability zero. Now let us take an example to understand this much better. So I've taken an example that if a person's income is 12 lakh, let's say a salaried individual having a in-hand income of 12 lakh in the entire year. Now if you are considering this income, first we'll deduct standard deduction. 50,000 is a standard deduction here. So after deducting this, we will have 11,50,000 as the net taxable income. But let's say this person will be claiming some more deductions as well. After claiming a deduction of 80C, which is 1,50,000, the net taxable income will reduce further. So let's consider 80C as well. Then we'll consider NPS investment as well. So 50,000 additional deduction can be claimed for NPS. Another 2 lakhs can be claimed for home loan interest if a person has that. If not any home loan, you can also claim for HRA. But again, like I said, HRA calculation is very different. So depending upon a person's salary structure and how much rent they are paying, they can calculate. But for this illustration, let's assume either an HRA or a home loan interest, but a person is able to claim 2 lakh rupees. After this, let's also consider that the person is paying premium for health insurance for his family as well as the parents. So a total of 75,000 is what he can claim. And another deduction of 1,25,000 for medical disability of any family member. and an education loan interest that a person is paying of around 50,000. So assuming that a person is claiming all these deductions, we can say that from a 12 lakh income, after deducting everything, the person's net taxable income will come around 5 lakh. Now 5 lakh mean, like I told you already, on 5 lakhs you will have to pay a tax of 12,500 as per the slab rates. But because as per Income Tax Act, a rebate is given to you under section 87A, wherein if your net taxable income is 5 lakhs or less than 5 lakhs, then you get this rebate wherein you will not have to pay any tax. So although you were supposed to pay 12,500 as tax, but after application of this rebate, your net tax liability becomes zero. It is nil. So based on whatever level of income that you are earning, you can take your own example. You can take whatever your level of income is. So let's say if someone's income is 10 lakhs, 6 lakhs, 8 lakhs or 15 lakhs, you can calculate. Up to a certain level, yes, you can make sure that your tax liability is zero, considering that you're claiming a lot of things. But we understand that for an individual, it might not be possible every time that you can claim all of these deductions or all of these deductions are applicable to you. Apart from the investment part, yes, investments you can do, but for other expense related things, it only applicable for a person. From case to case, it can actually differ. So if it is applicable to you, it can happen that your tax liability is zero. But yes, it is definitely clear that there are so many options available to you that you can definitely reduce your tax outgo. Even if your income is on a higher level, you can reduce it to a greater extent using all these deductions and exemptions available to you as per the Income Tax Act. So as per this example, up to a level of income of 12 lakhs, a person need not pay any tax if he is claiming all these deductions. I hope it is now clear and will definitely help you to plan your taxes now. In these last 3 months, before 31st March, you should be making all your tax saving investments so that when you're filing your returns the next financial year, then at that point of time you already have all the proofs and you can claim these deductions. And in case more TDS has been deducted by your employer, you can also claim a refund at that point of time. So this is the last moment tax planning that you can do it for yourself using this video and knowing all these pointers in hand. But again, I would suggest that never leave your tax planning strategies and everything to the very last moment. At the start of the financial year itself, you should be doing it. But nonetheless, if you have not done so far, I hope this video will help you to plan your taxes. And for more such videos, do subscribe to our channel.